Hey guys, RunBuck with RunBuck on Games. Got another war recap for you in the War Flow format. This time we're taking on Reddit Viper. For those not aware, they are in CWL as well. They're in the Rising Division. We're in Light. If that confuses you, there's actually, outside of the Invite League in CWL, there are 3 divisions kind of mirroring boxing: heavyweight, middleweight, and lightweight. And that's the variance is just in the number of Town Hall 11 and Town Hall 10s. We're in Potluck format, and we chose in this case to fight in the heavyweight class for Town Hall 11s, 10 Town Hall 10s is the mix. But as with all Warflow updates, let's take a look at where we're at in the war. We've got about 8 hours left, 8:47. The attack, since of the first attack that we want to highlight, is this beauty. I haven't watched yet, but I'm assuming it is a beauty. A Pier Town Hall 10 attack by Swootang.
From the slums of Shaolin, Wu-Tang Clan strikes again.
Let's take a gander as he tears it up. I'm going to change my thing to white while he's doing something. Now, as he opens, let's take a look at what he's doing. It basically looks like he's going to late stage air, and he's doing a queen walk to open. Now, with the double infernos on single, he does not want to enter anywhere near that, so he's going to probably trying to be walking this way. He doesn't want to get over here and get in risk of this, and he's probably going to be trying to enter somewhere down here because he needs to get the CC. He needs to get the queen, and bonus if he gets these expos to help out the loons. So that's what I think he's trying to do. He's also doing some nice nibbling, taking out some of the outer clutter so he doesn't have a time issue. Let's bring it up to 2 times speed as he walks it down. And bang, bang, bang. Yep, there it is. And also, the defense is set to try to do it. It's nice deployment there of the wall breakers. See how I went in one by one, testing for that trap, and did detect it and able to get the queen in. Because if he doesn't get the queen in there, while he would get the CC, I don't know if he'd get the queen. Yeah, maybe it'd be close, but he got in either way. And so now at this point, as I mentioned, he is getting the archer towers. He is getting the CC. I don't think he'll get the expo because that inferno looks to be locking him up. And it does not. Oh, but wait, now look at that. So we've got a couple interesting things that happened there while I was standing staring at the queen. One was that nice deployment of the hound across the map. It gave this loons a little bit of time. I don't know if it's critical to taking it out, but definitely helps them move forward through the map a little bit further. Maybe saved 1 or 2 loons in that. And also look at this. This movement right here, this haste with this loon coming in on this outside edge AD is pretty critical, because if you look at what he's got going on right now, he's got 2 loon teams, but they're moving away from basically circling the AD itself, which gives the AD tons of time to peck away at the remaining loons, which he doesn't want. So boom, he takes it out. Nicely done. And look how that allows both this AD to come over and clear this, and now this AD will come and clear this, I'm assuming, once that drops. Nope, they come together, but they both, and there's only, what, 2 of them left? Oh, they both died. So, did it matter? Probably, because now if that AD hadn't been down, clearly it wasn't going to get down with just this. So he would have been left with this AD also up, and these minions still working, which the AD would have handled them. But now, with just the AD up, oh, and look at that immortal archer locking up. Is she getting shot? I think she is. Somebody's getting healed. But that allows the minions to come in and take out the expo, which would have usually handled it. So he had a couple great either break
yourself, fool! Tight.
Or plans in his attack that really made it a beautiful thing to watch. So if I was going to recap again, it was a nice walk with the queen, avoiding the eye towers. Here, we'll just open it up. He avoided this eye tower for one, getting a queen walk here, basically opening up this side of the base. Then he does a nice deployment, focusing on this first AD to move his loons through, with a nice, also, the distract gives that loon team a little bit further depth. Then this recognition of saving a haste and a loon just for that AD, so that his pathing as it comes across and is circling around it, it can come back. And this, I think, was more luck. The fact that that last expo was up and locked onto the healers or locked onto that archer, allowing the minions to take it out. That was a bit of luck. I don't think he can really plan that. But then the fact that the double singles the minions taking out the Inferno is not too surprising. So pretty good. I know that some of you love the dashboard updates. If I can find it. There we go. So about 8.8 hours remaining in war. You can see here that that hit by SWU does give us the advantage at Town Hall 10. That one pierce. So we're up by 1 basically in the war. However, right there you can see that. The attacks hitting up into Town Hall 11 are kind of proceeding similarly. They've had 1 of 5 hit. We've had 1 of 4. So I think that'll proceed with 10 Town Hall 10s. You should be able to close out Town Hall 11 on hit up. The thing, they did win Town Hall 9. Notice their close rate, 57% to our 46%. That tells you basically that we're probably going to need nukes. We still have 3 bases open, whereas they're fully closed at this point. With 3 bases open and 4 remaining attacks. So we're going to end up probably needing, with a success rate of 46% on Pier, at minimum we'll need 1, even if they did some heroic and all 3 landed. But more likely it'll be 2 or 3 more nukes required from Town Hall 10. So not only are they going to get what is about 6 scouts, they're going to get 6 scouts up here. They're going to get 6 scouts, plus they're going to get about 4 additional Town Hall 10 attacks because they don't have to nuke 3 to 4, somewhere around there. So it's a really big deal, a Town Hall 9 performance for them. So bully on them, good job. But right now SWU is holding them at bay with that Pier attack. We'll see what else happens. Hey guys, another update for you in the Reddit Viper War. Things have been progressing as usual with clan wars or potlucks very slowly. As you can see, the score is 66 to 65, but you know, really that's relative, so we'll talk about that in a little bit later with the dashboard update. But you can see we've got about 3 hours and 16 minutes left in the war. The big thing I wanted to show you from this update was we did have some nice Town Hall 11 hit up action from Town Hall 10, so Town Hall 10's hitting into 11. One of the ones on our side that I thought was really well executed was this attack by a Magnus. He does a lot of interesting things. I mean, it's a classic Gobo in terms of his cuts. I'll do it at 2 times speed to begin. He does the earthquake to kind of loosen it up in there in the middle. But you can see nothing too exciting to begin with. I mean, this is pretty typical. If I was going to get my right pen going here. Pretty typical in terms of the usage for that. Whoops, sorry.
And by the way, you know, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
There you go. But what's interesting is now this. So notice how he's actually trying to use the archer to pull both the golem and the loon over. And the golem was at the similar position to the loon, but it sensed the other Gobo team on the, I guess we'd call the left flank, and ended up moving in that direction, whereas Magnus was hoping to get it way over here so that once his main core team drove, he wouldn't have to deal with it. And so you can see now it's shifting up to this bowler that's doing a little bit of snipe action off top of 11. But he's kind of achieved his goal. He's gotten the golem out of the position, at least in terms of coming directly into the pathing for the vector, and it ends up where the bowlers will deal with it themselves, which isn't a bad situation. I mean, they can pound a lot of damage out, and the explosion of the golemites isn't too much to overwhelm them. And then the queen basically can come through and uncontested, not being stopped in the middle there, actually get the win. So the big thing that he did there was using distraction and drag. Something we used to do a long time ago with dealing with CCs. We used to drag them out and try to figure out where to put them and maybe leave them there. I remember the mortal archer for the hound, stuff like that. So it's kind of a similar flavor. So great attack by Magnus. As far as dashboard update, let's take a look at that. You can see Swutang's attack earlier still holds today. We're still holding up +1 on the 10. So that's definitely in our favor. As we talked about earlier, their Town Hall 9 did end up getting them about 4 or 5 extra scouts up top. So we'll see if that ends up helping them. Right now we've ended up having to use 2 attacks from Town Hall 10 for nuke to end up closing. So their percentage close rate on Town Hall 9 did help them out a lot there and limit our options at Town Hall 10. That said, we have seen quite a bit of action in Town Hall 10 hitting 11. As I mentioned, you saw one there. And what the big story is right now is that our close rate on that is 33% to 18%.
They're doing homework right now, and it's that math trigonometry thing that you and I just aren't very good at.
So you can see almost double the rate. They've used 11 of their Town Hall 10 attacks so far, of 20, to try and close. 2 of our bases are closed, as are theirs, so 2 and 2 on the Town Hall 11s. So we'll have to see. Right now I'd say we have the advantage. The question is, can their Town Hall 10 peer get a hit on our 14 or 13 to tighten it up and make it a percentage game? We'll have to see. More later. Okay, hey guys, update number 3 from this war with Reddit Viper. We're down to the short hairs. It's about 38 minutes, 34 minutes left. I still got to get my attack in. Things are going down. I guess let me set this, let's toggle it a little bit. I'll show you an attack here that kind of set the stage for a big turnaround, but look at the dashboard for forecast. It looks further ahead than you would think right now, even though the score there, what was the score? Let me take a look. 70 looks tied, but actually forecast looks like we're 2 up because of 2 things are going on. Both teams are running out of hit-ups on Town Hall 11.
I am completely out of ammo.
And there seems to be one that's going to be open for both sides. Will either side be able to close that gap? We have 1 attack left. I think they have 2 to try to change that. But that's the attack I'm going to show you. Is Chris just pulled off a up hit for 2 and a big percentage in case there's a tie. So that's huge right here. This number here, the +1. He just tied that up. It was down by 1, which would have put him in within 1 on forecast. Huge deal. And then, of course, Wu-Tang's Pier Town Hall 10 still holding strong, and they had a nuke Town Hall 11 miss, so they dropped down 2 points on this. So Town Hall 10 is basically costing them, and as always, their Town Hall 9 did a great job. But we did have a late Town Hall 9 hit from our side that closed down our nukes to just 1 nuke, so bonus points for us. We got 1 more attack up, and it looks like it matters. But let's take a look at the attack from Chris while we get down to this too exciting moment. For me at least. I think we can just go right here and take a gander at it. Yep, there it is on 3. So I think this base had defended 3 or 4 times already. We can check that in a minute if you want to take a look. I'll go ahead and get her going at 2 times speed. But the open is pretty much the same. It's a gobo open for the cut there on the 9 o'clock position. And then we do the same gobo cut from the 12 o'clock. So nothing too exciting as of yet. What does he do? I haven't watched it, so I don't know what he... This is very similar to what others did. How did he actually pull it in? A little better funneling. Okay, one thing I notice here is he's getting the gobo to actually move in towards... He's getting a deeper cut, which allows his queen team to kind of stay on the funnel, stay on course. And then he's going to power in right through the mid there. So that really looks good. He's got a lot of bowler backfire behind it, plus the rage, just too much. I'm assuming the king... Yeah, this is what had killed other teams. We had swung around. His kill squads in the prior attacks had swung around and messed with the queen and king while being smoked by the 2 eye towers. I'm assuming what's going on in there. So much happening. It's a mosh pit of death. The king survives. No, that's his king. Okay, so basically, out of the mosh pit of death that no one could tell what the heck was going on, his troops were sufficient enough. There were so many of them that he could just throw balls of stone every which way but loose. Clint Eastwood reference.
Bang!
And pull out that 68%. So really the big key there was he had a great funnel that allowed all of his troops to kind of come in and just drive right here into the rage, take out the town hall, and then get some spray going outside before they died in the hole. Great attack. We're up by 2. How many minutes are left? Will I mess up? 22 minutes remain. Up by 2. Oh, okay. Update later. Hey guys, War is in its final moments, and I figured the best way to recap it is to just walk through the last few attacks. Last time we spoke...
The last time we talked, Mr. Dodd, you reduced me to tears.
I can't even get it out. We had Chris and Kaibang Cho, I believe is how you say his name, facing off, and Chris was able to pull out a 2-star on a Town Hall 10 hit-up, getting us into a 77-76 1-point lead with a forecasted advantage of 2 stars. So everybody was like breathing a sigh of relief right there, because if we'd missed that, it would have gotten a little too close for comfort, right? But at 16 minutes left, they returned the volley and actually shot us in the face.
Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Why the fuck you do that?
With a 3-star Town 11 nuke on Snow, pulling back into the lead, 77-79. I'm giving their score last. So we're like, uh-oh. And the key here at this whole sequence of attacks was, did we miss? We had a bunch of Town 11 nukes, I think 3 from us, 2 from them. They couldn't miss. If we missed, it would definitely make things interesting. But sure enough, Darth Carlos, at 11 minutes to go, was able to pull off the 3-star nuke of his own against AJ the Great, giving us the 80-79 advantage, lead change again. We then drop a minute later, and Bomberman, their number 1, says, well, we can retaliate with that. So they close their Town 11 nuke, taking it back to 80-82. So they're still crossing their fingers, but I say, oh no, I'm not going to be outdone by Darth Carlos. I drop the Town 11 nuke and make it close.
Obi-Wan has taught you well. You have controlled your fear. Now, release your anger.
Bringing the score to 83-82. Us. Lead change. The drama is building. 6 minutes left. Swoo-Tang misses his hit-up. They definitely needed that. They could not afford another star separation between us and them, because they still were able to close potentially at this point. They had the attacks on the board, but then their 8 attack on number 4, their hit-up into Town Hall 11, misses with 5 minutes to go. At this point, they're still forecasted to be 2 stars down, and En-Hung, also known as Chris on our side, was able to get his Town 11 nuke to land. Putting us up for sure, forecasted for 2. That locked it down. It was basically baked into the forecast. So we're at that point, we are, 84-82, basically the forecasted score. They go for the Hail Mary. They try for a Pier Town Hall 11, trying to get those 2 stars that you see there, but weren't able to do so, which leaves them basically not tying us at all. I think they would have lost in destruction anyway, and the war was over. JTJ takes down Reddit Viper, 84-82. Good war. Good attacks. Our Town 11 were perfect. Perfecto. That was a big part of it. Swoo's Pier Town Hall 10 was also a big part of it, as you can see. That 3 there. What really crippled them was they had 1 miss from their Town Hall 11. Or 2, actually. They had 2 misses. Or no, that was a Pier. So one nuke miss. The Pier miss was more of a Hail Mary. And then they didn't have any Pier 10. So that really what lost in the war. We also had them by percentage. So good war all the way around. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back soon. It's coming up for another CWL match here in the near future.
What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. 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 What? I like Wryhorn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.